Well, hey everyone, welcome to Throttle Power. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a Mexican blanket that you can use as a seat cover in one of your scale model builds. So come along. Let me get the camera turned around and I'll show you how I do it. The first thing I do is I start off and I type in Mexican seat blanket pics or pictures. And all kinds of stuff comes up. You just start scrolling. And a little bit anything comes up. The next thing I do is I choose one, find a picture of one, and after I find one that I like and get the picture, then it's a matter of saving it and cropping the picture down to size. When you found the picture you want, open it up in Windows Photo Viewer, right click on the photo, and paste it into a Word document. Resize it to the dimension you want, save it, and print it. I usually print out several of these. You can never have enough. After it's out of the printer, of course you got this is just regular stock paper you'd stick in your printer. It's a matter of cutting them out. And as you can see, I cut these two out. And the nice thing about these blankets is they all come, the dimensions are always different on how the blanket is stitched. And what I mean by that is, you make this a little smaller or bigger, it's okay. It's just a matter of what seat you're going to cover. And it'll go on nice and look very convincing. We just got done building 3 1940 AMT Fords, and one of them I turned into a gasser. So I had this extra seat, and this is a seat I'm going to use for an example. Now obviously my blanket isn't going to cover the side, so I'll show you how to fix that too. What I like to do is just paint the ends of my seat the color I want my seat to be. Just throw some paint on there, hand paint it. Until it covers the part that's not going to be seen by the blanket. Now once this dries, then we can put the blanket on. Okay, as you can see, I've got several designs that I've printed out on my Mexican blankets, several to choose from. It's nice to have several of them. If you're going to print some out, you might as well grab several to save for future projects. Plus with all the colors, you can kind of mix and match on what you want to go with, and you may change your mind. This is about the size we want. Again, it all depends on what size of seat you're going with. And these are all just under 3 inches long by about 1 3/4 inches wide. But again, like this one here is 2 inches wide. You can make them any length you want, any width you want. It's just a matter of scaling it down to what your blanket looks like and what size of seat you're going to cover. That's the trick to scaling this down. Now once it's scaled down and you cut one out, and you're going to paint the ends of your seat that's going to show, that's not going to be covered. You put it on, well that doesn't look too good the way it looks. The trick to getting it to look good is this. What I'd like to do is just wad the thing up about 10 or 15 times. This is the time-consuming part of doing this. But sometimes I'll sit down in front of the TV on a TV show in the evening with 3 or 4 of these blankets and just sit there and wad them up. And you got to unwad it. Still doesn't look good. Just keep wadding it up. Looking better. Keep wadding it up. Unwad it. You do this for about 5 minutes. Okay, we've spent 3 or 4 or 5 minutes working this paper. Just ran it through fast forward. You didn't want to sit there for 5 minutes watching me do this. Like I said, I like to do this in front of a TV show. Cut 5 or 6 or 7 of these out, sit down in an evening and just work these, and then throw them in a plastic bag, and then they're ready to go when I build a model. Now, as you see, it tore. Well, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes these tears work out. They're a blessing in disguise, and I'll show you what I mean. And if you don't want to go with this tear, throw it away. Start with another one. No big deal. We can print out a bunch of these. So we use the one with the tear, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Could be pretty cool. The reason why, I think you're going to see where I'm going with this. It can kind of overlap like a real blanket would do. Now when it comes to gluing these on, I've used several different glues. I've used my glue for windshields. I've got several glues for windshields actually. These are the 3 glues I use for glass. The testers, or the Model Master, this Diamond Glaze, or this MIG. Or you can go with regular old super glue to glue this on. It doesn't really matter what you use to glue it on. What I like to do is I like to start in the crease and corner here and then work my way out. Get that tucked in there. You can always paint this. It didn't make it long enough. And this is, and if you wanted to go all the way down, go a little longer, you would just choose a pattern that's a little bit longer or I'm going to tuck it right there. There's really no right or wrong way on this. And again, I would paint that too then, since it's not showing. But there's no right or wrong way to do this, and the reason I say that is because it's a blanket thrown over a seat. Everyone's going to put a blanket over a seat differently. The key to it is to get it from the shiny look to the more dull look. And it's by wadding it up, and the more you wad it up, the more it looks like that. Here's the seat cover on the 60 Chevy I did. And there's what it looks like all wadded up. It gives it a really realistic appearance. Very convincing. There it is on the seat. That's the glue I used for that one. Or you can use regular Elmer's school glue also. Everyone has Elmer's school glue. There it is inside the interior tub. That 60 Chevy was a fun build. There's the other 40 Ford I did. That's the cover I used for that one. There it is, wadded up, more realistic. And here it is inside the car. My other 40 I did, and I did several of them. There's the seat cover I used for that one. There it is, wadded up. And there it is inside the car. That was a cool Rat Rod 40. That was a fun build also. Well, hey, pretty cool. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you got a different way or anything else that you want to share with everyone that's watching this and leaving comments. We'll see you on the next episode on Throttle Power.